This story begins, as every good story should, with an email. The Ideaplex, very obviously, is an enormous market for ideas. There is ravenous demand in it for new ideas. And with that TED email and all the other emails, I began to see that there is a tremendous supply of ideas as well. In fact, I would say there is a glut on the idea market. Ideas have become very easy to generate, very easy to share, very easy to claim as your own, even if they are not your own. Very hard to sort them out, very difficult to evaluate them when you get them all, if you have time, and very difficult to differentiate your own ideas when you have one that you want to take public. Because I came to the conclusion that there was a new kind of cultural player, and I call this player the idea entrepreneur. The idea entrepreneur. And their purpose is to take an abstract idea, to influence people's thinking, and to change people's behavior. That's all they want to do. They're interested in things like spirituality, health and wellness, social justice, learning, management, big, deep human topics. These people are taking on a really difficult task because they want to plant an abstract idea from their heads into other people's heads. They want to make the idea concrete, and the only tools they have are themselves, their lives, their expressions, their actions. They become the idea, and the idea becomes them. So, who am I talking about? Who are some of these people? Amy Chua. Anybody know Amy Chua? So Amy Chua came out with a book called The Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother a couple of years ago. She's a Yale, yeah, see? Oh my God. Oh, interesting reaction, yeah. So she's a Yale professor. She went public with this idea. Her basic idea is that Western parenting could use a little bit of Chinese traditional parenting, and you want to get the balance right. Huge reaction to what she had to say. People went crazy. To be an idea entrepreneur always involves going public. And that means taking a step beyond where you are now. Does not mean if you go public that you will actually break out. So you can go public, you can publish a book, you can step out and do a speech, and it may well be that no one actually cares. This happens more often than I would like to admit. So I've come to understand over the years that there is a process, there are elements that the idea entrepreneur must have to go public and to break out. To have them does not mean that you will necessarily succeed, but you must have them nevertheless. So that is my topic for tonight. What do you need to take an idea public, to break out, to achieve influence? But what they always have, or what they must have, is a personal fascination of some kind. And what I mean is this is very personal, deeply rooted, genuine fascination with a topic or an issue. For Cesar Millan, he's brought up in Mexico, actually came to this country illegally, brought up on a farm owned by his grandfather, lots and lots of dogs on the farm. When he was about 12, his family moved to a new city where they had, for the first time, television. Cesar began to flip through the channels. I don't think there were that many channels to flip through. And he came across two shows that he really, really liked. Can anybody guess what they were? Lassie and Rin Tin Tin, of course. But he noticed something strange about these shows. He said, these dogs seem very different from the dogs that I'm used to back on the farm. He said, I have to go to America and find out what is going on with these dogs. I want to go become the greatest dog trainer on earth. Because there's something different about the relationship of dogs and humans in America, it seems to me, than in Mexico. And that's exactly what he did. The one thing you need is the will to do it, and you can accumulate almost everything else. You'll find your iconic moments, you can build your theory, you can gather the practices. It may take you a lot longer than we thought. But after we decided on that answer, we decided that answer was wrong. Because actually, you can build the will and commitment as you go along. And so it's very possible to start with pretty much nothing. This moment arrives and you say, I feel like I have enough stuff, I have enough commitment, I have enough drive, I'm going to go public. It's mysterious what causes this moment to arrive, and I really can't tell you. There's probably some complicated psychology which I do not understand, but I will tell you that there are two parts of it. The first one is something internal. People who do this tend to have a fairly healthy ego. They do deeply believe in their cause, and they may be angry or dissatisfied with some current condition. There's always a sacred articulation or sacred expression. We call it the sacred one because it is usually the one that is most identified with the idea entrepreneur, and it is the one that enables him or her to break out. There's one other metric that all of the idea entrepreneurs told us about, and they said, you know, the most meaningful one to us is when we get a direct comment from a single person. They all said, it's most meaningful when I get an email that says, you made a difference to me, you changed my life, I behave differently than I used to. That's the most meaningful. Questions, comments? Yeah.
Do you have any guidance about how simple an idea needs to be to really take off?
Yes.
So do you have any advice regarding book length?
How many of those books will be multimedia?
As you accumulate and as you find that people respond to your narrative, they gain the commitment and they say, I think I might actually have something here.